Hey, it is your girl Raquel May David. I'm so happy that you guys are in here. So excited to have you guys. So for everyone that is new, I normally give about 10 minutes for everyone to get in the room. That way, if you guys have questions, concerns, comments, and ting, we can go ahead and go over them before we go live. Wanted to go ahead and make sure that the room is open. Hey, Treen Bean, welcome to the room, boo. So excited to have everyone here. I see CJ's here. His audio isn't live yet, but welcome to the rooms. I'm sorry, CT. I don't rename people, y'all. Y'all know I'm tired. I went to the gym this morning. I haven't been asleep. Okay. Hey, Trina girl, everything's going well with you? Let me see. Cassandra, welcome.
Hey.
Hey, boo. You out dipping and doing?
Yes, I am. How everybody doing today? I'm just here
Oh,
chilling.
it sounds like you outside.
No,
Oh,
on the
that's
porch.
probably me. Because after this, I'm gonna go outside and be a patio princess for at least 30 minutes, and then I'm gonna get back to some work.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, girl.
For you guys that are just coming in, I did put a message in the chat. Let me go ahead and drop it again. If you are brand new to credit repair and you do not have the software, drop a 1. If you have the software but have not used it, drop a 2. And if you have sent out letters, drop a 3. Trina already sent out letters. She out here dipping and doing in these streets, okay? So Trina already a 3. Okay. Oh, Cassandra's a 3. Awesome. So normally the first 10 to 20 minutes of the call, I open the floor for you guys to ask any questions, concerns, or comments that you may have. So if you guys, especially for the 3s that are in here or any 1s, if you want to go ahead and come off of mute and ask any questions you may have before we get started, we can go ahead and do that now. Because I want to give you guys the floor before we go into more. Hey, Cassandra, what's up?
How are you?
Wonderful. How are you?
I'm okay. So I was wondering, I sent my static letter and it asked me if I wanted to send a copy to the recipient, or it's like a little box about the recipient. Yep. I didn't check that box though.
Okay. Your question is what does the box do?
Yeah, like should I have checked it, or am I fine by not checking the box?
So I'm gonna tell y'all a little secret. The recipient box means that it's switching the name so let's say the letter is going to LexisNexis, it will also have a return address of LexisNexis. So if for some reason you send the letter off, but you do not have enough stamps or postage on it, instead of the letter coming back to you, it would still go to them. So that's in essence what that recipient box does, is it makes it go where the letter is coming from the credit bureau, credit reporting agencies going to the credit reporting agencies. So you have the option to check that box. It is a method or a trick or a tool that you can leverage if you desire to.
Okay, thank you.
My pleasure. Any other questions, guys? I know we're letting some people come on in. Come on in. So I have decided, guys, I know everyone's new. So you guys may not know, but I coach in this platform. And I also have a group, a mentorship group, but I made a decision in July that I was going to work out every single day. Not just because I want to do the 75 hard, but I want to get my body into where I'm working out at least 5 days a week. So I kind of gave myself a challenge to to be dedicated with discipline as it comes to that. And y'all, when I say my body hurt, these people making workout look so good because their body look all nice and chiseled. I think I really am okay with my I make bread from scratch arms, okay? Because I do. I make breads from scratch, okay? I make authentic food over here. I bakes. and your girl arm is hurting right now. So every time I move it, I'm like, why did I move that? So it's definitely been fun. I've been literally working out every single day for the last 7 days. How have you guys been doing? What's new have you guys implemented while we're waiting for people to come in the room? Y'all can tell me. Y'all can drop it in the chat. I'll read it as well. Because I know we're all doing something new. We're all doing something new. And if you guys have any questions, we have 4 minutes before we dive in. I know that we have threes here, so I might open this up as a workroom. But if you guys need to go through the platform, if no one else comes in, I can just answer any questions you guys have on the platform. If you have questions specifically about the platform, we can just jump in to review that because I want to be able to give you guys value while we're here for this time.
Sounds good to me.
Oh, Trina's like, yep, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
She's like, let's talk about it.
I sent you an email. I sent you a text. Is that true?
Yeah. Well, hold on. Let me take a look because I didn't watch it. Please hold. How to raise your credit score in 5 days. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Well, why did I just do that? Maybe I could. Okay, it went to my headphones. A portion of this is true. So the video that Trina, so since we're waiting, guys, sorry. The video that Trina sent me was a video about doing a rescore. So a lot of times when rescores happen, where I have seen it used is when someone is going to get a home and they're looking to, let's say a collections was paid off or something of that nature. Your realtor will help you with going through the rescoring process. What that is let's say you go and you have a credit score, your credit score is at a 600, but it shows that you have these charge-offs on there or these outstanding collections, and the underwriter says, hey, in order for us to get you this approval, you need to pay this and this, or you need to settle this and this. Like these two debts need to come off because we can only accept you at this particular threshold. Most places, so just to give you guys a quick tip, most places or most mortgage companies will accept you with collections or charge off, but there is a cap on the dollar amount. What I've seen trending is it's normally about $2,000 of collections that they will allow you to have on your profile, and they will like you to do what's known as an explanation as to why you went into that situation. They ask for explanations even for late fees, for late payments that you may have in your credit report. So when people are saying you can't get a house with a late payment, that is incorrect. When they say you can't get a house with collection, that is also incorrect. But normally when you're going through the home buying process, a lot of times what will happen is if the underwriter tells you that there are certain things that need to be done, once you go and do it and you bring the paperwork in, your realtor will help you with getting a rescore. And what that does is that they send the information in to the credit reporting agencies saying that these things were paid so that it can then be reflected on your score, and then that updated number is generated. Because remember, guys, your credit score is generated whenever the information is pulled. That's why your score may not be the same on Monday as it is on Friday if statements of close, late payments has post, or balances have been paid down. Your number is going to fluctuate, and it's going to generate whenever your information is pulled in that real time. So rescoring does happen. From my knowledge, I can only speak from my area of expertise. I've never had a client have to pay for rescoring. That doesn't mean that that's not applicable. To be quite honest, I've only seen it done in the real estate arena because that's when a client has ever needed it. So I would have to do a little bit more research because normally with my clients, I'm advising them that we're going to pull their numbers on this date. These are what they need to focus on until then so that we can look at their numbers. So I don't know the fee that he's talking about. I do know that you can call and you can send the proof of payment to the actual credit reporting agencies so that they have proof that the item has been paid and the debt has been settled for them to make the update. The part that I'm unclear of is the fee, because when I've seen it done, it's always been through real estate and I've never had a client have to pay a fee for the rescoring. I hope that helps. Does that make sense, Trina?
Yes, it does. It does. Thank you.
My pleasure. So if all of this is true, I don't know, but I do know rescoring is a thing. I do know that it's applicable. Normally when you see it done, it's in real estate. And there's no fee applied at that time. Any other questions? Oh, I need to write this down. So I will research it with my team and see if anyone has ever had to pay for rescoring. I have like 14 realtors in my book of business. From my knowledge, they've never had to pay. My aunt used to be a loan originator and we did it again, but this was like when I started credit repair was about 20 years ago, come next month. And when I started it, we were doing rescoring and we didn't pay for it back then. Again, it may have changed. I know that the video says that you pay $50 to $100. Does that time frame go? Yes, you can get the update, and it actually doesn't take that long for the updates to happen. So let me go ahead and put confirm. And I'll put it in the mentorship group if I find out that there's a fee. Okay, Trina? So that you know. Confirm if
Okay, thank you.
is a fee with rescoring. And one of the biggest things, hey Candy, welcome to the room, my love. Please drop a 1 if you're brand new to credit repair and you don't have the system, 2 if you do have the system, and 3 if you have the system and have sent out letters. One of the major things that I see a lot of people doing is like pulling their credit over and over again. And yes, when you pull your own credit, it doesn't impact your score, but I definitely always question like, why are you pulling it every day? Like you want to check your bank account every day. You don't necessarily need to check your credit score every day, especially if you have the monitors and the alerts so that it's providing you those updates. I'm not really seeing what that is. So whenever I hear someone talk about rescoring, my question normally goes to, what are you rescoring for? Is it for an auto loan? Is it for a mortgage? Because those reasons make sense. But outside of those reasons, I don't necessarily see the benefit of someone rescoring like so quickly. Let me see. Oh, okay. Well, that's what we're here for. We're here to learn, child. Now, everyone in here is a 3. So with that being said, I know that everyone does not need me to start from signing up to the platform. So what I'm going to do is change. Ooh, Shaka Khan. Okay, it's recording. What I'm going to do is change up the dynamics. If new people come in and they're newer and we want to start with the platform, we'll start from the beginning. But I wanted to go ahead and offer the opportunity that if anyone has any questions or comments or concerns, that you guys have the floor today to kind of ask those questions systemic wise, for us to go through the system and be able to support if that's something that you definitely need as far as the system goes. So I know everyone's saying that they're learning. Let me know what are some questions you have so we can utilize this space. Also, if you can tell me how you are feeling about the platform and like where you are, that would be great so that we can, we can send the report back. Candy, welcome to the room, boo. Candy says she's a 3, so she's seasoned. Okay. CT, I don't know if you dropped, if you are I don't see it in the chat. Can you let me know if you're 1, 2, or 3, my love? And Rachel, welcome to the room. Can you let me know if you are brand new to credit repair? If you already have a system, drop a 2. And if you have the system and has shared letters, please drop a 3. You brand new. Okay, so do you have the platform at all? You do have the platform. All right, you've already signed up for the platform. So I'm gonna ask a few questions since we are in the room. Hold on one second, guys. What am I gonna do? Let me move this over yonder. And then I'm going to share my screen here. And then we will move the chat over here. All right, guys. Thank you for working with me. So everyone on here has the platform already, correct? I see Rachel says yes. I know Trina does. I know Candy does. I know Cassandra. My bad, Cassandra. I done rename your name. Please forgive me. Let me see. Everyone's platform. So for Miss Rachel, do you have the guide already downloaded? And what questions do you have about the platform since you are brand new to it so that I can go through and show you guys? And what I'll do is I'll log into my test account so you guys can see, can ask questions real time in the system and we can go through that together. Just wanted to give you guys something a little bit different on this Wednesday, and then we're going to go back to like from start to finish. So Miss Rachel, have you gone to the training tab? Whether in the system or not. So let me show you guys what it looks like in the system. Give me 2 seconds. So in the system, if you click on this training tab here, it will open up here and there is a free guide that tells you what letters you are going to select and what rounds. Have you already done that, Rachel? On which guide I should follow because the training. Okay, cool. Great question. So let me go ahead and show you that ain't what it's supposed to say. Hold on. I think this is it. Okay, so for those of you guys that are here, I know that some seasoned people, or if you're watching the videos, there are different guides. So I'm going to drop the guide in the chat that used to be our old guide, and I'm going to tell you my humble opinion so that you can make the best decision for you, okay? So here's how it goes. When Dispute Panda originally started, in 2022. When it originally came out, what took place was that the system basically gave everyone a flow so that they knew, okay, these are the sequence of letters, and the way that the software was generated was specifically for brand new credit repair owners, or it basically was direct competition for Credit Repair Cloud. Let me just be clear. Like, that's how I feel as a person who was in the credit repair organization world. I felt like it was direct competition for them. Okay. With that being said, one of the things that we wanted to set that Dispute Panda wanted to set apart was, as soon as you come into the system, even if you're learning, you'll be able to start disputing right away. Now, with the flow that came out, it was specifically giving you certified mail options for you to send the letters out on. However, as we continued to grow and new people came in, and we noticed that there were more individuals that were also coming over into this space to use the platform, what we decided to do in real time was, okay, so what we're going to do is answer the request that's coming in. So 2 requests that we had was, is there a way for us to dispute without having to do certified mail? That was the first question. And the second question was, how do I handle the secondary reporting agencies such as LexisNexis, Innovis, LCI, and when do I do a CFPB complaint? So with that being said, what ended up happening was we ended up creating this new flow that came out. So to answer your question, Rachel, you can choose any of the flows that you would like, whether the new model or the old model. The difference, or the only thing that I would say, is if you're using the old model. So for me, if my client is wanting something precise, like I know I have 6 months to a year, they're coming to me to get a home, we're going to go through the process and we're going to take our time. I personally do the blue attack. However, I still follow this flow as far as it pertains to the static letters. Okay. I personally do the blue attack. If my client is coming in and they're like, listen, I'm on a 4 to 6 month crunch, I need to get in, I need to get out, I will do the red attack for my client. However, the new flow works well because as soon as the new flow dropped and it was beta tested, I went through, I tested it out with my team. There's not one flow that's better than the other. Both of them, all of them will get you results. The difference, the way that I would say to process it is, do you want to pay for certified mail or do you not? That's basically the difference between the two. I hope that made sense. If you have any additional questions, go ahead and you can come off mute, Rachel. It'll be my pleasure for us to have, complete dialogue over it. But any one of the flows, whether it's the old flow or the new flow, will be effective and efficient for you to be able to go ahead and dispute your client's profile. What I will recommend is that if you're using the old flow, that you incorporate the static letters in the sequence that is on the new flow guide. And I dropped the old flow in the chat if anyone wants to grab it.
Okay, good. This is Rachel. So I did have a question about that. Like,
Uh-huh.
how do we know? I know I know when I was looking at it and I saw where it says static letter, but how do you know if you add, I mean, is this something that we're automatically selecting, or is it just because I know I tried the new flow
Mm-hmm.
and I was just kind of confused. Like, how do I know if I'm actually, I was trying to follow along, but I didn't see like an option, I
I'm
guess, or
not,
maybe I just
can
don't
you
know
can you refine the question for me when you say how do you know what exactly? How do you know what's the rest of that question?
for the static letters. Like, is there an option that we choose for that to choose for static letters, or something that it just automatically based on? Because I did use the new, when I downloaded it, I saw that this was the more updated one.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did use that flow, but I was just kind of confused on, because I
The
saw where it
static. So
said,
you're saying how to get to the static letters. Is that your
yeah,
question? Okay.
yes.
Okay. I want to make sure because sometimes I get asked, how do I know if I have any reports with those agencies? So I wanted to make sure I answered the right question. So thank you so much for that clarification. So what you would do when you come into the system is that you would automatically do disputing. Of course, like you would go through the process to do the disputing after you've selected the first round. So for instance, if you're using the new flow or any flow, after you selected the letter and the letter variation, you're going to then go back into the system under attacks and you're going to hit start new round. And right here, it says static letters.
Oh, okay.
So you click the static letters. So the thing is, you have to do the first one where you're selecting the accounts you want to dispute and then going into the platform and selecting that first round of attack, like whatever round you're on. And then you come back in after and you do the static letters.
Okay. And then
Okay. And best practice,
sorry.
just real quick, is scroll all the way down. Like when you go to static. So hold on, let me go back. When you go to static, scroll all the way down because the system kind of jumps. But once you check the one on the bottom, it will automatically block it off to just the static letters for the credit reporting agency. So you don't have to worry. Like, let me show you. When you go to static letters right now, so let's say I did LexisNexis, the system is going to kind of jump. So it still cuts it off, but it jumps it all the way down to the bottom. So if you just start from the bottom, it'll just select those credit reporting agencies for you, and then you can select all of them. You have to have at least $1 in your account for this static letter to be generated. It doesn't cost you anything, but you do have to have money in your bucket for it to generate.
Okay. And so
Okay.
I'm assuming that I should be, because when you're looking at that flow, I should choose static letters. Um, when it says static, I would just choose static for that first round.
So if you're using the flow, no matter which flow you're using, you're doing static letters round 1 through 4, and you're
Okay.
doing it again round 7 through 10, if your client is with you for that long.
Okay, and then another question too, because I saw that for creditor. Now that is only for, is that for under the pro account where it
That is
says,
correct.
okay, and so when we choose creditor,
Mm-hmm.
because like when I noticed that it pulled up because the client has some collections. And I
Mm-hmm.
had a question about that. So when I was reading the letter, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, do I supposed to send those letters? Because it, in that round 1, because it attaches their, ID and their, you know, address information to that. Like, should I be selecting those for the collection companies for those round 1?
So
I was saying,
let me ask I want to make sure that we're on the same page. So what I'm understanding your question is that you're trying to find out. So wait, pause. Do you have pro?
yes, I did
Okay,
sign up for the pro
awesome.
trial.
So you have pro, and you're stating that you're sending out you're asking, should you send out the creditor letters as well as the letters to the credit reporting agencies? Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. So according to the flow, yes. That's why it says for every single one, once you have the pro option, you're selecting that option every time you go in. So when you go to dispute the profile, you're just checking the box here for it to generate the creditor letters, and
Okay.
then you're sending those off. I personally, to the creditors, do not include the ID information. So although systemically the system puts it together, I
Mm-hmm.
completely take it off. So I edit the PDF to remove the identification and only send off the dispute letters. Now, I want to be transparent. I did not always do that. And it did not cause, like, I checked the profile, it did not cause my clients to have an update. You know how sometimes they get that updated?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
that did not happen for me. But just because I'm used to my particular flow, like when I send letters to the creditors, I don't include identification, because in the letter I'm telling you what their address is anyway. Like their updated
Uh,
address is going to be in the letter. So
okay,
I don't
that's
need to
all.
prove it. Yeah, they're going to get the updated address anyway, right?
Okay.
But what I don't want to do is give them something else. So, because for me, let's say, and this is just the way that I look at it, guys, I promise you, I'm only giving you like my tips based on how like I work the flow. But for me, if let's say because I've been through debt training, right? Like actually debt buying and being a collector to become a debt collection company. And sometimes they just purchase like a packet, and it just has the name, the amount, that type of stuff. They don't have the full file. So my concern is if it's moved from the original creditor to the third or fourth, credit reporting or debt collection company, now I'm giving them more information for them to validate, you know what I'm saying, my client. So
Mm-hmm.
I personally, I don't include the IDs, especially when I'm looking at files that have like a LVNV, a Midland, you know what I mean? Because they're not
Yeah.
the original debt collector. Yeah.
Okay, and so I want to ask, because I know you say you added it. So are we able to edit the letters in this Dispute Panda, or is that something that when I download the PDF,
You would
I
edit
have
it
to
when you
do it on?
download the PDF, because remember the IDs and stuff are added when you actually select the letter and the letter is generated, right? So
Uh-huh.
none of that stuff. So the editability that you would have is when you go into the disputing tab.
Uh-huh.
If you wanted to add, so like for instance, if you had some flavor, right? You have some letters you done write before, and you say, okay, I'm going to use this because this verbiage has helped me kill the game. You can put it here in the
Oh, okay.
system, so it can then be added to the letters that you have. Just one of the things that I've noticed is that when you do Supreme Boosted, whatever you put in here is added into the verbiage of the original makeup letter. When you do it with any
Okay.
other like, so if you do it with the regular or the premium, it doesn't. It basically takes out their verbiage and only uses your verbiage in there. So if you wanted to add your sauce to it, you can put it here. And that way, when the letter is generated, it has all the information. But as far as like editing out the IDs and stuff like that, all of that would have to be done once you downloaded the file, because that's something systemically done on the back end.
Okay, so basically, if I wanted to mail the letters through Dispute Panda, I would not be able to edit them, only if I'm mailing them out on my own. That's what you're saying.
Correct. So what you can do with them is, because remember, you can elect to, when you go to the attack, you can elect to send off the letters as is in the system for the credit reporting agencies, and you would just physically download the letters for the creditors, and you would handle that yourself.
Okay, good. Okay,
Yep.
good. I just
That would
wanted
be
to
the
double
workaround.
check.
Yep. So you can have the system mail out the attack and the static letters, because the static letters need the IDs no matter how it works.
Okay, good. Okay, just wanted to double check.
Yes, yes.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Any other questions?
No, so far I don't.
Okay. No problem. Trina, you got anything? Cassandra, welcome. Brian, you got any questions, my love? Trina Bean said nope. Candy, you got any questions for me? No, ma'am.
Oh, how you doing? I was talking. I was on mute. How you doing?
I'm good, my love. How are you? How can I support you today, honey?
Well, I'm looking. Well, I'm trying to see. My credit is bad,
Okay.
and I was looking to get my own credit up.
Okay.
I was just trying to find a way how to use Dispute Panda myself
Mm-hmm.
to build my own credit. But it looked like this is a business model where you have your own clients and you help them. But I need help for myself.
So you can put yourself in the platform. That's something that I recommend to literally everyone that's using the platform. So you can turn this into a business, but yes, you can get the platform yourself, sign up for it, and you'd be able to go ahead and actually generate your own letters, mail them out, and get everything done that you need for yourself. So it is dual, because originally it was created for credit repair organization, so owners of the credit company. But Dispute Panda saw that a lot of people who were ready to fix their own credit was coming into the space, and they were going ahead and using the platform. So it would still be the same process. So hold on one second. Let me go back to sharing my screen. Can you see my screen okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so what you would basically do after you sign up, so just real quick tip, if you are using this to dispute your own credit, you would have to have 2 email addresses. So one for you to own the platform, and then one for you to actually be the customer in the platform, because it doesn't allow you to have the same email for both. So
Okay.
So for instance, if you look over here, my email for me owning the platform is admin@Evolve Life Now. Like, that's my specific email, right? But if I wanted to
Right.
put myself in as a client, I would just come over here and I would load myself in the system as a client. But I would have to use a different email. So Rocky Road Movie at fakemail.com. And then I can put my phone number. So as far as the phone number goes, the phone number can be completely the same. I would plug in my information. And then when you're putting your information in here, if you have a unit, a suite, an apartment, you'd put it on the street line. And then you would go ahead and plug in the information with the city and the state and the zip code. This information is very important, because as you're going through the platform itself, one of the things that I want you to understand is everything that's on here is going to be pulled into the actual letter that's going to be drafted for the client directly.
Okay.
So in essence, it'll be drafted for you. So
Right.
it's fine if you want to
Okay.
use the system for yourself. You are more than welcome to, because we've noticed that a lot of people do. So have you already received, because I did ask to drop a 1 or 2 in the chat if you have the platform already. So did you already sign up for the platform, or you don't have the platform as of yet?
I already have an account. It has $0 in the balance, but I already have an account.
So the great
I'm
thing
just
about
trying
this,
to.
the great thing about
Mm-hmm.
Dispute Panda, outside of like other platforms, you do not need to put money on the account if you're using Credit Dino in order to as your credit monitoring service. So what that means is, one of the things that were given to you for Dispute Panda was the ability to give you a credit if you keep the credit monitoring software of Credit Dino that was created for Dispute Panda. So it is $29.99 a month
Okay.
that you're paying for it. So let me ask, who
Mm-hmm.
is your credit monitoring through?
I think it was like those score sense, or I usually check on Credit Karma.
So none
Uh,
of those programs are integratable with this platform. So if you are using this platform to dispute your credit, let me go ahead
okay.
and take you through. We're going to go here. The affiliate links. Okay. These are the only credit monitoring softwares that are applicable where their system can talk to our system and generate letters. Credit Karma does not
Okay.
work. Number one, because Credit Karma only shows you the 2 of the 3 major credit reporting agencies. So we cannot use Credit Karma.
Okay.
Now, if you already have the platform, you can go ahead and create a link right here on the main dashboard. You could click on become an
Okay.
affiliate and you just fill this out. It will give you your own affiliate link in order for you to get credit repair, or for you to get your credit report.
Okay.
Sorry, let me say that better. For you to get your actual credit report. So what you would
Okay.
do is you'd get this link. You can also share it on your social media, like tell it to your family, and you would actually make $8 minimum for each person that signs up for that credit monitoring service.
Okay.
Okay. And then
Oh,
on the
so there's
back
an
end,
incentive for that. Okay.
every person that signs up, if they're your customer, you then get a $17 credit and you don't have to pay for the letters to be generated at all.
Oh, wow.
Now, if you're using any of the other credit monitoring agencies, so if you're using Smart Credit, Identity IQ, or My Score IQ, you have to have money in here because it costs $17 for the round to be completed for any other credit monitoring software.
Yeah, I think I try to use the Dispute Panda and it says $17 on there. I you know
Right. It's
for
$17 if you're using any other credit monitoring service. So you're
right.
saying you have Credit Karma. So let's say Credit Karma is not applicable in this particular software. So let's say you were using
Right.
Identity IQ, it would cost you $17. But if you're using Credit Dino, it's free every 35 days,
Okay.
as long
Maybe
as
I
the
should
person has the
try
credit
Credit
monitoring.
Dino.
Well,
Yeah.
I want to clarify credit. So Dispute Panda is the software that generates the letter. Credit Dino is where you
Right.
actually get your report from.
Right.
Right.
Okay. Got it. Okay.
Awesome. So yeah,
All
but
right.
just for the record, the system only allows you to load $20 is the minimum amount that you can load. So if you're going to want to print the static letters like we were talking about before, which are the letters to LexisNexis and Novus, LCI, you have to have at least $1 in the system. So if you're wanting to print out the static letters, you would have to load at least $20 in the bank. And it won't, if you're using Credit Dino, then every single month that you're paying for the credit monitoring, every 35 days that you pull your report, you get a free round of attack. So you
Okay.
wouldn't pay that $17 at all.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And they
Yeah.
do have a subscribe and save. So if you want the system to mail your letters, as Miss Rachel was speaking about earlier, where she's like, okay, so the system can mail the letters, you can go ahead and have the system actually mail the letters out for you. All you would have to do is after you've generated the letter, you would just come here and you would click mail out, and the system will automatically mail the letter out for you. You just have to make sure you have the money.
Would it be certified mail or just regular mail?
This is regular mail. They're only giving you first class option.
Okay, got it. All right.
Great
Oh, that's a
question.
good. So some good options right there. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely want to try that.
So yeah, so if you're going to use another credit monitoring service, Brian, then you have to remember to load the $20 on in order for you to generate the letters. If you are not using any of the other ones and you're specifically using Credit Dino, as long as you have paid your monthly payment and it's after 35 days, I want to be clear. I've had some people say that they pull it every 30 days. If you pull it every 30 days, you're not going to get the credit of that $17 in your bucket for that free round.
Okay, so every 35 days.
Mm-hmm. You got it. So let me, I'm going to show you since you're here. Hang on one second. Let me, Willows, here we go. Click on Willows. So we're going to go over to the document tab. Let me click here. Okay, guys, when we are talking about documentation, there are specific documents that are required in order for, where's the chat? I lost the chat. Okay, there's a chat. There are several documents that are required in order for the letters to not be kicked back, okay? So what you want to make sure that you're doing is that you're selecting the right documentation. If not, the credit reporting agencies can turn around and say that we don't know this is you, we don't know it's valid. When it comes to the driver's license, if you've moved from 1515 Mockingbird Lane to 2780 Kingsbridge Court, even though it's the same city, that driver's license is not valid. The goal is to get one address, one date of birth, one name on your credit profile. So when you're going through the process, you want to make sure that the information is matching across the board. So if the client has moved and they're not at a new address and their driver's license still has their old information on it, get something else. You're going to get a social security card. If they're in the military, get their military identification. We are not going to go ahead and send them the driver's license because it's going to create havoc. And one of the methods of deletion is to remove old addresses that may be linked to old accounts. It does help to some extent to go ahead and remove those. So you want to make sure that you're giving them the most up-to-date address information or the documents that can verify their identity. When it comes to the proof of address, guys, when it comes to residential billing, best practice is to upload an updated bill every 60 to 90 days. So that's why I don't like to use residential bills. I like to use like cell phone bill or a bank statement or a mortgage statement, because then I don't have to worry about getting that updated bill in the system every 60 to 90 days. Okay. So once you do that, you would go here and you can drag and drop. I'm a drag and dropper. Some people are clickers, but I have way too many stuff in here, so I don't know what I'm clicking on. But you want to go ahead and crop it and then just hit crop and save. And that way, huh?
No,
And
that's the idea of make loving.
that's
Super bad.
right. That's right. So you're able to go ahead and crop it out. A lot of the information is not needed. We want to get everything on 1 to 2 pieces of paper so that we're not using up too much paper, too much toner. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I double side everything, okay? But it's completely up to you guys what you want to do. But you want to make sure that you have everything in one central space, so the system allows you to crop and save. Again, this option here, if you already have these 2 required spaces filled, you don't necessarily need to drop it in here, but I personally do, since it's a test account so you guys can see. if you are using Identity IQ or MyScore IQ, you would need to log into that credit monitoring software, download the report, and then put the report here. If you are using Smart Credit, you would need to watch this video right here and copy the code for the HTML, because you need to do view source and then put the HTML verbiage in there, and then go ahead and plug the HTML codes right here so the system can read the report. If you do not have that and you're using Credit Dyno, it actually makes your life simpler, because all you have to do is come in here and do a one-click import. God bless you, sweetie. Do a one-click import. And one of the benefits of the Credit Dyno is, because it was created for this Dispute Panda platform, you don't have to log into Credit Dyno. Every 35 days, when you come in here and you click this one-click import, it's going to refresh the report for the client and pull the information in. And then once you've done that, the system is going to register, okay, it's been 35 days since the last pull. You now have earned a free round of attack, and you would get a free round of attack every time you pull the 3 credit bureau report after that 35 days. Now, the significance of that 35-day window is because the law said that we're supposed to give the credit reporting agencies 30 days to dispute our files. So we are not allowed to, if we send a documentation before that window, then we run into them getting an additional 15 days. So we don't want to do that. So the way that we reward you for following the policies that the US Code says and the Fair Credit Reporting Act says is by giving you the discounted credit by you guys following this rule. So every 35 days, if you come in, I'm personally a 40-day company, which means I don't pull my numbers except for every 40 days. And I just come in here, and now I can go and dispute. So if this was your file, Brian, you'd be putting your ID in, you'd be putting your bill in, and then you would download your credit report, whichever platform you use. Again, I'm going to shamelessly plug Credit Dyno. But once you get here, do you have any questions before we go into the disputing section? Because I want to show you that too.
No, no.
Okay. Cool beans. So systemically, the system is going to pull anything that is impacting your credit score. The only thing that it will not do is it will not pull inquiries. If you have public records, that's bankruptcies, bankruptcies, any judgments, any liens that happen to be showing up, the system will automatically pull it, but it will not pull the inquiries. And the reason being is that the inquiries can be attached to an open and active credit card or credit line. If it's attached to an open and active credit card or credit line, best practice is to not dispute that particular file, okay? You do not want to dispute it at all. So what you can do is, if you're using a Windows-based computer, you would come here and you can do Control F. If you're doing a Mac, if you're doing a Mac, you can do Command F. And it will open the search field for you. And what you have the ability to do is you can go ahead and search to see if there are any open and active cards linked to that particular inquiry. If it is a card, best practice is to not dispute, because Capital One will shut you down. Discover will shut you down. So you want to be careful to not cause harm to your profile. Or if you're doing, Brian, like if you start getting your numbers and you tell your mom about it, or your cousin about it, or your sister about it, this could be something that you can make residual money from, right? So you want to make sure that you're doing it correctly. Now, personally, if it is a mortgage or an auto loan, baby, I select that inquiry. I do. I have no problem selecting it, okay? What I then do is go and check all of the other inquiries that are here to see if it's also linked to an open and active account. If I only see one of one, I'm going to check the box so that the system could generate the letter requesting to have that inquiry removed. Okay? Any questions on that part so far, guys? Welcome to the room, Terrence. Oh, look like Terrence left. All right, got it. Any questions, guys? Nope. All right. So let me go ahead and close there. Now, if you see this yellow icon, The reason that it's there, if you're using Credit Dino, you can go ahead and select this option. Now, most of the other credit monitoring softwares only give you the history for the last 2 years, which is 24 months, but Credit Dino will give you the full 7 years if it's available. So what that means is when you go into the system here, you go to payment history, if they're reporting past the 24 months, you're getting to see that information. So for this particular account, it's reporting all the way back to 2017, and she does have a couple of late payments that are notated on her profile. So I can then educate her, hey, we're going to go ahead and process this request for you. But over here, it's only reporting till 2020. So there's no dispute letter that I need to create for Equifax or for TransUnion. So I would simply come here and click on Experian. Yeah, I would click on Experian in order for the letter to be generated. Now, that yellow icon was because the system was registering that it was a late payment. And when the system originally was created, when Dispute Panda was originally created, it did not have late payment verbiage. However, it now does. Okay, so since it now does have that late payment verbiage, you can select that option. The system will systemically read what the data points are and generate a late payment verbiage letter instead of a deletion letter for your client. Any questions on that so far? No? All right. So once you have completed that, you're going to hit Save Filter, and then that's when you're going to go into the system and you're going to tell the system what letter to generate. If you are using the new flow and it's round 1, you're going to select the specific letter. If it's round 5, you're going to come back in here, you're going to select the letter for that round 5. Think of the rounds as a month. So round 1 is month 1, round 2 is, month 2, and so on. Over here on the side, it's telling you the days in which you should do it, which means round 1 is going to start on day 1 for you. If you are doing this as a business, guys, and I know Brian is not a business yet, but I feel it in my spirit. If you're going to do it as a business, one of the things that I want to let you know is you want to find out what your state laws are. Personally, the first letter I send out for my client is a personal information letter, not the actual dispute letter. The reason why is because I want to do the personal information first. As soon as they pay for their audit and for their first, I call it a first work fee. As soon as they pay for that, the first thing that I do once I get their identification and everything in, is I go ahead and send out that personal information letter. I then wait till about day 5, between day 5 and day 10, and I then send out the actual dispute letter. The reason that I do that is because I've seen that me doing it that way reduces the stall letters that come back to my client. And because my state has a 3-day right to cancel, if my client decides to cancel, I've only paid for the personal information letter. I have not paid for anything else. So it makes it a lot easier for me when I'm supporting my client. Okay. So you would select the appropriate letter. If you guys are doing the old flow attack that was in the system, you would still follow this flow if you're on round 1 through round 4, and you would still go back in the system and do the static letters. So using Rachel as an example, let's say we were doing the old flow, we would come into the system, we do pinwheel. I still follow the flow, so I would still do handwritten. Because I'm in the pro, I can generate the creditor letters. Guys, if you are in the free platform, you are not able to generate creditor letters. You can only generate letters to the credit reporting agencies. It says Supreme Boosted, so I'm going to come back here. I'm going to click this box. I'm going to hit Start Round. Oh, I'm going to type Confirm. I'm going to type confirm, hit start, and the system is going to do its thing for my client. As you can see, no monies came out of my account. As my son would say, no monies. Okay. It's still at $142.1. Okay. $142.01. That's still there. So I would then come back into the system, and because I have money in the bucket, I will be able to go to the static letters. I'm going to still select handwritten. and then I'm going to go ahead and generate the letters for the other credit reporting agencies. So for me, what I would do, I have a personal information letter that my mentees have. That letter is what I send out first. I would then come in here on day 3. So my contract actually says day 5. So that's why I do it between day 5 or day 10. Because if my clients come to me on day 5, day 6, day 7, and they say they want to cancel, baby, I let them go ahead. Okay. I'll let them cancel, not a problem. But if my client is outside of that window, that doesn't mean I won't allow them to leave, because they have the right to let me know that they leave. But I want them to be able to get that information back when I've sent off just the personal information, right? Just sending that off, even if they don't get the dispute, when they get that mail back and they see those long pages from TransUnion, they normally are choking, they're gagging. Okay. So the way that I personally do it is day 1 is the personal information letter, where I'm asking them to remove all the outdated information. Day 5, I'm setting off the static letters for my client, but I normally request the report first. It is completely, if you guys are using the system, I promise you, if you send off the static letters, the report is going to come back to you. If the company says the client has no report, make a note of it, so that the next month you're not generating or printing a letter to a company that they're not connected to. Okay. And then for me, on day 10, I then send out the first round of attack. That is my flow. So for me, that 35 count time does not start until the 10th day that that person is in my workflow. Now, if you guys want to send everything out together, that is completely fine. I just wanted to give you guys kind of like how I do it. And I'm extra, like the gum. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm extra. So we've literally loaded the client in the system. We've completed the round of attack. What questions do you guys have so far? Let me know. Let me know. Brian, you got any additional questions for me, love? Rachel, you okay over there? Welcome back, Candy Girl. Candy Girl. Sorry.
Okay, how about, I remember you saying that no inquiries, right, in this platform?
Say that again?
No inquiries?
Well, are you talking, this was a screen I was showing you with the inquiries there. What's your question about it?
So I'm saying we could dispute inquiries in this or no?
Yeah,
Because I
that's
remember
what I
you
just
saying,
selected. Mm-hmm.
okay, got it. Oh, all right, all right.
I'm
Because I
just
want to
telling
do it.
you, don't dispute inquiries that are attached to open and active credit cards or credit lines. That's what I was advising.
Yeah, because just got a couple unauthorized inquiries in my wife's credit report,
Mm-hmm.
and I wanna dispute that.
Yeah. As long as it's not linked to an open and active credit card, you can dispute it. All you have to do is check the box and the system will generate the letter for you.
All right, that's it.
Awesome.
'Cause I was gonna do it manually. I got the letters and I was gonna send it out.
Nope,
I
the
was like,
system
what?
does everything for you.
Yeah, I might as well just use that.
Mm-hmm. Save yourself time.
Mm-hmm.
Great question. So you and your wife, so see, you already in business, Brian. She said he got him and his wife. Come on now.
Better than mine. I'm just trying to make sure hers stays,
That's why it's
copacetic.
called a significant other. That's right, Brian.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You
I
gotta
love
use the right to the chessboard, you know?
No problem. For the note tab, the question that Rachel has is for the note tab. Does the client see that? The answer is no. This is for you to see. If you want the client to see something, you would have to click on, and let me show you. I don't know if you checked out let me minimize this. Hold on. Okay. Let me minimize this too, because I have all these windows open, chat. Let me see if I have the portal. I think I have the portal. So this is what the portal looks like for the client. So they have access to the invoice, they have access to the progress, they have access to any messages if they want to email you, but the notes is information that you have. So for instance, if I have a client that has bankruptcy, I will go ahead and put a note in that I sent something to the bankruptcy court. I'll put a note in that I sent something to the other 3, I think it's a total of 7 places that hold the bankruptcy information. So I'm putting that note in that I sent all that information off so that they can come back to me. And when the next month comes in, I can ask the client, did you get something back from this person? Did you get something back from that person? And kind of go from there. But that note tab is specifically for you. So this is what it looks like on the client's end. And again, if you put your logo in, that will show up here. Your company name will show up. If you have, again, this is only for the pro. So if you just have the free version, this option is not available for you. Great questions. Any other questions, guys? Rachel coming in hot. I like it. Rachel and Trina are like my faves. I love Candy. She over there zipping and doing with us tonight. Any other questions, guys? No other questions?
I appreciate it. I think I'm gonna log off, but thank you for the information. I'll look for the next Zoom meeting.
No problem. The next one is on Monday, and we go from start to finish. Today was just an open workroom. If you guys had any questions, concerns, or comments about the process, so that I could be able to walk you guys through. So I'll see you on Monday.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
My pleasure. Bye, Brian. Any other questions, guys? This is very helpful, and my pleasure. My goal is to help you get everything that you need. If there's no other questions, guys, I want to say thank you for coming in. We'll be back on Monday, and we're going to start from the top all the way down to the bottom. I just wanted to give a day that if you guys had a question about the platform, if you're having any hiccups, or if you have any questions because you're not quite sure how things work, that we had a day just to focus on that in its totality. CT, before I go, do you have any questions, my love? Trina says she's good. Rachel says she's good. How you doing over there, Candy? You got any questions? Okay, Candy says she's good. Awesome, awesome. Nothing else, guys? All right, so on that note, I'm going to go ahead and bother you guys on Monday. We are going to start fresh. I'm so glad you're going to be here on Monday. Tomorrow is the pro night. So if you have any additional questions or concerns, pro night starts at 7 p.m. So we are actually on an hour earlier. If you guys have any questions, concerns, or comments, I am here to help. And I will see you guys tomorrow at 7 p.m. CST. So 8 p.m. EST. All right. You guys have a good night. Bye, guys. Bye, Trina girl. I made sure your package went out. I sent it out. It's supposed to be there like 2-3 days. 2-3 days.
Yeah. Did your homeboy finish the tray line thingy? I mean, that's the tray line. The
letters?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm just waiting for him to upload the receipt. But he's running behind because he had a family emergency to upload it. So as soon as I get it, I'll give it to you.
Okay, thank you.
It is my pleasure. All right, guys, y'all have a good night. Bye.
Bye.